Hey there, what is up you guys? I am Jerry and welcome back to the channel, The Chicago Griller. This is the show where I share my favorite tips, tricks, and recipes for the Weber Q. If you think that I can help you out, hit the like button and subscribe. In today's video, I'll be grilling yet another skillet recipe for the Weber Q. And this dish I call the Southwestern style steak skillet. It's an amazing blend of flavors, and it's so good that we've had it twice already this week. Stick around and find out what goes into it and what makes it so good. It's straight on out to our grill today for the Southwest steak skillet recipe. To begin, lay down a lightly oiled cast iron skillet on your Weber Q. Then set your gas knob to high and pop that ignition and let all the cast iron components get nice and toasty. As everything preheats, let's prepare our steak. For this recipe, I recommend using a flank steak or a skirt steak. No matter what you do use, trim the excess fat and then season generously with some salt and pepper. By this time, about 15 to 20 minutes have elapsed, and your grill and your cast iron should be nice and toasty. Leave that gas knob on high and lay down that steak that you've prepared directly inside your cast iron skillet. This is a 12-ounce flank steak that I'm using today, and you'll see that it's a perfect fit for my skillet today. Now, we'll shut the lid and let this cook for about 3 minutes on the first side. After 3 minutes, a helicopter has started circling above me. Hopefully I'm not in trouble and they're just looking for dinner. I mean, this does smell delicious, and the steak is coming along very nicely. I might have expected a little bit more crust on this first side to develop, but it's still browning up very nicely. So I'll just let this cook on this second side for about 3 more minutes, and then we'll see how we're doing from there. After 3 more minutes, for a total cook time of 6 minutes on the grill, I'm going to check on my steak. This flank steak is a thin steak, so I'm really conscious about not overcooking this. So using a thermometer, I'm looking for a target temperature of between 120 and 130 degrees Fahrenheit for medium rare. I'm right in that range right now, so I'm pulling it from the grill and letting it rest while I prepare the other components of the skillet. So here I have 1 diced red bell pepper and half of a diced yellow onion. Into the skillet that goes, and using a wooden spatula, I'm going to give these components a mix and toss and turn on the grill. Now I'll shut the lid and let this cook down for about 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, I'm going to give my onions and peppers another stir. That looks good enough. And then close the lid and let these cook for another 2 minutes more. And after 2 minutes, that's 4 total minutes for your red pepper and onions. I think you'll agree that they are softening up very nicely, so we'll give them one final mix before adding in our final components to our skillet. So go ahead and grab a standard 15-ounce can of black beans, drain and rinse those beans, and then add them to your skillet. Next up, you need 2/3 cups of low sodium chicken broth. I like using low sodium broth because our next ingredient already has plenty of salt in it, and that is some taco seasoning. Add 1 to 2 tablespoons of this taco seasoning to your skillet, then grab your wooden spoon and mix everything all together. Combined together, all these ingredients in this skillet and in this broth smell absolutely amazing. Hey, you know, I just realized something. Where'd that helicopter go? Those guys are really missing out. Oh well, more for me. At this point, shut the lid and let your broth and all those ingredients simmer and really come together for about 6 or 7 minutes. And after simmering for about 6 or 7 minutes, you'll see that quite a bit of broth remains in the skillet, so we're going to need something to sop all that up. And you know what's really good for that? How about some quinoa? So off camera and in the kitchen, we've taken 2/3 cup of dried, uncooked quinoa and prepared it per the directions on the package. It's now yielded this much cooked quinoa. It might look like a lot for a skillet, but as I give everything a mix and stir, you'll see that it really absorbs that broth and fills out this skillet perfectly. This is going to be a great platform or great bed for our cooked flank steak. So speaking of our flank steak, it has now been resting for about 10 minutes. It will be a good time to carve it up into some bite-sized pieces, just like so. And you'll see it's red and pink throughout, a perfect medium rare. So go ahead and take your perfectly sliced pieces of skirt and or flank steak and lay them in a row on top of your quinoa, onions, peppers, and black beans. And as I continue to lay my steak back into the skillet, you'll see that it is really starting to present very nicely. But to add some even more color and some freshness to this dish, I'm going to lay down some slices of avocado. And if this dish still isn't quite bright or refreshing enough for you, go ahead and squeeze some fresh lime juice over the entire contents of the skillet and garnish with some additional lime wedges. And now for the final topping. Grab your choice of chunky salsa and spoon it liberally on top of your steak, as well as the other components in your skillet. And there you have it. This is the completed dish, a Southwest style steak skillet made on a Weber Q. So like I said in the intro, this has been an amazing recipe that has found its way to our dinner table twice this week and is in strong contention to end up in our regular rotation. Give this a try for yourself, and I think it could end up in your regular rotation as well. Thank you as always for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you all again next time. Bye!